a hierarchy, a framework of rules, like you have two currency groups that put them together by help of a hub. Then you have a third currency group with different rules, and they are like nested with others, and you could build up from the bottom a system of nested or framework of rules of how they work together and how they balance and maintain an economy. Okay, that's about short version. Thank you very much.
We'll just take some time for a few questions about the precise data Jens presented. So, a few questions. You first.
Okay. I don't know if I have understood properly. This is like a project. It hasn't happened yet.
This has happened partially in the Zurich case, a little bit of that, but the whole list of parameters I have said it's not realized, and of course it's not necessary in small scale. Some few groups working together. It's not the whole range of possibilities is not necessary to adapt. But you're right, the rest is like imagination of the future, what will be necessary.
Okay, so then I have two questions. The first one is what happened with the flows? What happened with the flows in between the different systems? What happened? Did one of the systems get too much, this currency was not wanted by the others because the other currencies were more efficient, or
yes.
And that was the first question. And the second, in this case, in this scheme you have in the screen, why do you need? I know what you mean by this, but do you think really it is necessary so many stages? But why?
Good question. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay, the first one. That's true. That's one of the first things that might be preventing us from doing cross-the-border trade is that the imbalances are very quickly done or made. And so you have, from the beginning, you have to think about how will we be able to correct these imbalances. For example, by adjusting an exchange rate. You can say, okay, if everybody from this group likes to buy from the other group because they have a nice farm and all around there and buy on this farm, and the money goes here and here the money goes away, then of course after some time you have to say, okay, then this group has to pay more, meaning the exchange rate will be invented. Something like that.
I wanted to ask about what really happened, not about the theory. Sorry.
What will happen if
what
an impact?
What did happen?
What did happen? Yeah. For example, this market in Zurich, there was an imbalance, yes, and by the clearing, by 5 organizations, you get the clearing, so that the imbalance partially can be reduced by cross trading. But still, at the end, it was an imbalance of I think 20 hours more with one organization, and one other had maybe 15, not enough. And so now this is a discussion beyond these groups. They have to discuss what are we going to do. For example, this weak group is with a debt. They are like preventing services for the whole system, for example, and then they can reduce their debts. Or they will arrange the next market, so they will organize, they will do something to reduce it, something like that.
Another question?
I just wanted to ask how you actually get the networks and the groups to work together. time banks that I've spoken to in the UK say they find it very hard to work with other charities or let's groups because of protectionism or people feeling afraid of losing their kind of control over their area. How did you manage to get groups to work together?
Exactly. That was the one result of this study, which I mentioned, was that each group was like very reserved and they work together. It's not so easy. But then it was like lowering the how do you say that? Make small steps and keep it really in mind that you have to you cannot work together like anything. You have to really make regulations and rules for that, like how we work together, and you have to make agreements, you have to make contracts, and then you can move one after another.
So was there then a benefit from going through that bureaucracy a little bit, to making a bigger group? Was there a benefit to all?
Yes, that's the benefit. Was there a benefit to do that? It's quite complicated rules and bureaucratic things. Until now, yes, the groups they like it. They like to continue. But of course, this question must also be a part of the whole process. And maybe some areas you will say, no, we don't do that. It's too much. But yeah, I cannot answer it finally.
Other questions?
Okay. Only one. So there were organized some markets, right? You made a presentation about markets already organized, and then another one, the model you made. That's it.
Markets already organized.
How many markets were organized by all the communities?
For the whole now two last year and this year two.
Okay, so it's
events.
only one per year.
Yes, that's not so much. Yeah, it's very small. And some other activities like a joint website and some PR and something like that. But this market is very good. We have really to bake the small breads.
How many? Do you have an idea? Can you tell how many euros, or sailors, or how many people participate in those markets? This
Year's market we had a turnaround around 200 hours. 1 hour is maybe in 30 Swiss francs. That's one. 6,000 or 5,000 euros. And of course, on this market, also ordinary people could go and buy normal money, Swiss francs. So this turnaround we don't have. There was a combined market. The people who are not member or who were not member of one organization could also go and take their normal money. But it's small.
Thank you. Maybe, so we are late, of course, but maybe if you want, we can take some time for more general questions. Either more general questions or questions that you wanted to ask and you didn't have time for this. What about the connection you talked about?
I'd also like to hear your questions, but Will is on Skype if we want to ask him something. And also before we head out, I would like to put that picture up and invite you all to the front, and we'll take a photo which we can then put on his Corocano page and tweet, etc.
And then we can get an update from Will.
Yeah. So, but I don't want to dominate. So if there are any questions you have on all three presentations, go ahead.
Any questions? Well, I have these two questions, very short. But the first one is about the Japanese case. Because at first volunteers say that they interested in rewarding. Do you know with your study, your survey, if this changes something in the mind of the volunteers to be rewarded by the delegate? because the reward is actually in currency that is a local currency that is usable in shops and so on. So this is something that is convertible into the yens. So this is very close to the meaning of a currency in a way. Say the national currency. It's not the national one, but it's close to that. So does this reward changes anything in the mind of the volunteers? And the other one was for Jens. Oh, okay, sorry. What about impossibilities to compare currencies? I mean, in order to put exchange rates, we need to have monies that can be compared. And at first, I'm not sure that every CCs in the world can be compared because they don't have the same basis for evaluation. For example, time banking and say Kimgoer or anything else are not very easy to be compared. Maybe there is no comparison possible. So what about these sort of problems in your cooperation between communities of currencies?
Shall I answer first? No?
Would you like to start?
It's very difficult question. Japanese volunteer, Japanese community currency type is very diverse, and only volunteer type and deliverable money type, or any another type. And this type of community currency introduced, and people consciousness is changed, or not is very short. Sorry, I'm not good to explain. But Japanese community currency introduced and community consciousness, another people's consciousness is changed, is just a little study. And another discussion, money consciousness type study is Japanese and another countries community currency use people, and community currency monetary consciousness is differences between community currency user or monetary user. And another study is
would be necessary.
I couldn't explain.
Jens?
It's true that's important that if we have very different currencies, we shouldn't first go and mix it up immediately. So it's very convenient to use it for close currencies to have an exchange rate. And if you really need to exchange like Japanese Furiai Kipu hour into German radio geld, if this would happen somewhere, then of course my suggestion it would go up, and down, 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 down. It would be very complicated, but this is also the reason that we have more resilience. Then this complication is necessary somehow like that.
Have you, James? Have you considered the possibility to use a supra currency similar to, for instance, following the design of the Bangkok?
Yes, it could be a super currency on the top, but only as much as possible, only as a measure of value, not really as a currency who is for everybody. That would be the Bangkok system, yeah.
So, any questions for Will? Will, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing, Will?
I'm doing okay. Wish I could be there with you guys.
Yeah, we do too. Do you have an update for us on the situation?
Yeah, we've actually had some talks with the central bank here, with some of the investigators, and they're acting a bit more sympathetic now that they've gotten a lot of bad press. So actually, a lot of the media attention is working quite well, and I think the hope is that within the next 2 weeks we'll have the case dropped if we can keep up that sort of media attention on the story. So yeah, things are doing really well.
Good. So what further steps can we take to help out?
Say it again.
What further steps can we take to help out?
Sorry, I'm not getting you.
What further steps can we take to help?
Right now, there's a petition going around. I've been suggested by quite a few people to send a group letter to head of the central bank as well as the Minister of Finance here in Kenya. And so, moving around that petition, and I'll be bringing it into Nairobi next week. That'll be really helpful. We're also trying to raise some funds to pay for the legal fees because it's cost quite a bit. The judicial system here isn't terribly straight, and it sort of supports a very unstraight financial system as well. So on that side, we're trying to do some fundraising as well.
Will, you were telling me earlier that there's a bigger lesson for us from BanglaPesa than just the legal issues. Do you want to sum that up?
Yeah, I think maybe the perspective from here in Kenya is a little bit different than in Europe because, well, for one, we're just, we live with people who are extremely poor, and every day you can see a very tangible lack of medium of exchange. You can see people who have goods and services to exchange. In fact, you can see a huge capacity here in Kenya, yet you have people that are just literally not eating because they can't trade their rice for their fish and things like that. It's a ridiculous situation. And you have that situation creates this whole market instability that leads to a huge amount of suffering in Kenya, and it leads to a lot of political instability. I mean, people are so desperate here that any sort of handout that they'll get from a politician will sway them any way that the politician wants them to. And so you've got this compounding problem of market instability and just dire situations because, in my point of view, people just can't exchange with one another. So, for us, we created a credit of about, 1.5 euros for about 100 businesses, and within about a week, we saw a 20% increase in local trade. And I think we can do a lot more than that. And it was such a simple intervention. To me, I've never seen another development program, whether it's with the ILO or whatnot, do anything like that. With local markets and helping local businesses. So to me, there's really tangible evidence that complementary currencies can make a serious impact on poverty. And so I think the situation down here in Kenya is a really amazing opportunity to show impacts of complementary currencies. So I'm hoping that we get to continue these types of projects and expand them all over.
Can you summarize that evidence and put it in a package that we can then use in our articles and in our petitions?
Yeah, we've got a paper that Jem's given a short talk on, and so that's out there. Unfortunately, we were only allowed to run the program for about 3 weeks before, the police came in and thought we were some sort of separatist group creating our own currency to become our own country, sort of thing. And so hopefully, when that all clears, we'll be able to continue and have, years of data. And actually, all the publicity of this has spurred several several hundred different groups in Kenya to start thinking about creating their own currencies. So,
Nice. Thanks, Will. I'm just going to... We're finishing now, aren't we? So we have finished. So I think we're just going to take a photo in front of a BanglaPesa sign of the people in the room. Cheers.
Awesome, guys. Thanks so much.
Say goodbye to Will, folks.
Bye.
Or you can have his face up there from the side.
Yeah. Oh, actually, stay on the line, because then you've got your picture on the screen. All right. So maybe you'll just... not this.
Yeah, so we'll get the nice like white line across the thing and definitely.
Try to squeeze in together as much as you can.
Play? No?
Yeah, there we go. Well, I'll just squat.
Okay.
Don't need flash, you have the reflection from my head.
No flash. Okay.
I guess before we want to come spread it.
Yeah, squeeze together.
We do like another layer of people.
Maybe here?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Great.
Okay, uno más.
Who's doing it? Who's doing it?
We can at least have one of you in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, you get in and I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tom, there's a space for you here. I'm sure it's your book that did all the damage.
Okay, everybody.
Yeah, we can do it.
1, 2. Another one.
We should probably be looking serious.
Yeah.
And the last one. Stop. Last one. Okay.
Okay, that's serious. Sorry, that's funny. No, I don't.
That's it.
All right, good.
That's it.
Thanks, Will. I'll send you the
Okay.